Mizzou quarterback Brady Cook is a great example of what can happen to a quarterback when you allow him time to develop, when you don't just pull the plug on a quarterback after 1 year, right? Like we talked about on this channel several times before, his ability to improve from 2022 to 2023 was one of the best examples of any quarterback in college football last year, and the improvement that was allowed to be made because they gave him a chance to continue to develop. So I want to talk about Brady Cook. I want to talk about what makes him or how he was able to take those steps last year. And with the season right around the corner, I want to go through and create a little quarterback profile. I want to go through arm strength, accuracy, mobility, deep ball, overall takeaway from Cook's game, and just make a little brief quarterback profile, and then watch 3 clips of film that do a good job, or hopefully do a good job demonstrating what we're talking about here in the film. Just fair warning is broadcast footage, so not the best footage. We have to slow it down so YouTube doesn't get mad at us. And I think my voice is a little lower on the film, so just a FYI when we get to that. But before we dive into the film, let's talk about the profile. Let's talk about, again, where he stands and how he did, and compare him to some other SEC quarterbacks. But like we talked about, I think he's a great example of allowing quarterback to develop. He took huge steps from 2022 to 2023, and now he enters the year as a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the SEC, depending on where you stand on him. If you're a Mizzou fan, you probably think he's top 3, right? But the biggest takeaway last year is I think you could tell how much more comfortable he was in the offense. So with that said, let's dive into his profile. Let's talk about his arm strength first. I think Cook has more than an adequate arm. I think it's a good arm. It's not great by any means. It's not going to be this Joe Milton type arm, but it's a good arm. And the first clip we're going to watch showcases his good arm. It allows him to make any throw required in Mizzou's offense. So while it might not be top tier per se, and I've never seen him throw in person, so it might even be unfair of me to say, but he can deliver the ball effectively, short, intermediate, and on deep throws. His accuracy, I think Cook is generally an accurate quarterback. And you saw him take those steps last year from 2022 to 2023. He was accurate in all parts of the field last year. His deep ball accuracy, which I think was impressive, was the second most accurate of his throws in the SEC. Milroe was the only more accurate quarterback on deep balls. Balls thrown more than 20 yards or more. Miller had like 30-something completions, and his completion percentage was like 55, which is pretty up there, pretty insane. And then Cook had 27 completions of the ball thrown more than 20 yards or more downfield. Experience, Cook has gained solid experience entering year 3 as the starting quarterback for Mizzou, and I think we saw with experience you're able to develop and become a better quarterback. Mobility. Cook's a mobile quarterback that can extend his legs, and I think last year he did a better job of just throwing, not relying on his legs. But you can design schemes, you can design packages, you can design certain plays for certain types of defenses around Cook's legs. He's a really good athletic quarterback, very good dual threat option. Again, we talked about Cook's deep ball. We talked about it being one of his strengths last year. 27 completions of the ball, thrown 20 yards or more. His completion percentage was 46, which, again, like we talked about, puts him second in the SEC as far as accuracy on those type of balls downfield. A lot of the deep balls from Drinkwitz's offense, you can argue, rely on timing and accuracy and reading the defense as opposed to just pure arm strength, and that's fine. But he still excelled in those type of throws. So the overall takeaway for Brady Cook: reliable, experienced quarterback, good accuracy, very mobile, can make any throw that Mizzou's offense asked him to make, and he took a really big step last year in Drinkowitz's offense. So I think he has to repeat what he did last year and just avoid any drop-off. If he has any type of drop-off, if there's a level of play that decreases or diminishes, then Mizzou's hopes for repeating last year or being even better diminishes as well, right? So overall takeaways, I think that Cook is able to continue to develop. I think he's a coachable quarterback like we saw last year, and that he's able to help put Mizzou in a really good position. So we're going to watch some film, and we're going to just watch 3 quick plays against play. It's not play action, excuse me. It's broadcast footage. And we're going to showcase his ability to push the ball downfield, his ability off of play action as well. And you can see that he was noticeably better against the blitz than he was whenever the defense would drop 7 or 8. Against the blitz last year, he had 13 touchdowns, 2 picks, 9.6 yards per attempt, and out of all his attempts, he was blitzed 39% of the time. Whenever he was facing a defense that would drop 7 or 8, he was more accurate, for sure more accurate. But 4 of his picks, 7 touchdowns came against the defense, and they're dropping 7 or 8 yards per attempt, still 8.7. So not bad by any means, but you can tell his explosive plays came off of play action, right? So you can argue that his next big step will be not needing Drinkowitz to scheme up guys to throw to, all right, or scheme up guys to get them open to throw to. That's part of the offense. I think that's totally fine. All right, so with that said, enough of me talking a list, enough of you having to look at my face. Let's go ahead and look at these 3 clips of Cook and kind of demonstrate what he did really well and what we talked about, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, so we've got a few different type of throws on these throws. These are 2 back-to-back throws. Man, my favorite throws of Cook's season last year, both against Kansas State. It's going to be a deep ball to Burden, I believe, but you'll notice we talked about how good he was off play action, and that's a lot to do with Drinkowitz's system. Play action, takes a deep shot, accurate ball. Again, one of his biggest strengths last year was pushing the ball downfield. New receivers like Mizzou has, that's maybe obvious, but still Cook did a great job. 27 of these type of throws, 27 completions where the ball was thrown more than 20 yards in the air. Again, going slow motion broadcast footage. You see pressure, standing in the pocket, able to deliver a strike. Probably a better arm than people give him credit for. I really think so. Some people think he's just good because of Drinkowitz's system. I think he developed and really showed a lot of good things. Regardless, that's a throw top SEC quarterbacks can make in their sleep still when the receiver's that wide open. But still, good deep ball, off play action, touchdown, really good throw. And this is a big win for Mizzou against Kansas State. We got one more clip from Mizzou's game against Kansas State that I believe comes up next. Let's see if we get there. Come on. Let's see. I can kind of skip along. All right, here we go. So this is another just accurate throw. I believe it's off play action again, right? Something that we talked about that he did really well, off play action. But you're going to see it's a really, really accurate throw that's impressive here. Like I said, I think Cook's accuracy really took a step up last year. I think just because he's more comfortable in the system, right? So we're going to see, I believe he hits down through here, but I guess he's starting with his read to the field side, still looking great protection up front. Yeah, and then he comes back to the receiver coming across the middle of the field. But it's not bad coverage, even though the DB's trailing, just because you have this safety that you can't lead him into. You see. It's actually pretty good coverage. Actually, really good coverage, right? Good coverage there. But you have an up-top safety, so you can't just necessarily lead him here because the safety could potentially come over there in time. Ends up being a great throw. Really accurate throw, great catch as well. So again, Cook, off play action, extremely accurate, pushing the ball downfield. Let's go ahead and watch one more clip of Cook, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, so here's a touchdown pass from Cook against LSU. It's just showing his ability to throw with pressure or with the blitz coming. We talked about how good he was when the defense was bringing pressure, when the defense was blitzing, right? I think he was better against the blitz than when the defense would drop 7 or 8. So we're going to see pressure come. Also a good example of him getting rid of the ball quick, right? The second best quarterback in the SEC when it comes to getting the ball out in less than 2.5 seconds, a metric that PFF uses, as we talked about at the beginning of the video. We'll go ahead and play it here. Boom, you'll see LSU brings, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job up front picking up pressure, got the running back staying in, but still Cook knows he doesn't have all the time in the world. Hits his drop back. Reading right here, sees what I guess inside technique coverage, right? So this is where the throw has to be. The DB's basically betting on Cook not being able to make that type of throw with that limited space to the sideline. Cook's able to do it. Ends up being a really good catch by the wide receiver as well, but still a really good ball by Cook for a touchdown. So a good job against the blitz. Good example of showing that, and then a good job by Cook reading the DB and making an accurate throw for a touchdown. 3 quick clips. Again, broadcast footage. I apologize for the way I have to break it down, but that's just so YouTube doesn't get mad at us. And it's very basic, right? We're not diving into the exact type of defense that is going on because it's over our head, and we simply just don't know what the defensive coordinator is telling the defense to do. But we are able to see Cook's ability to push the ball downfield, how well Cook did off of play action, and his accuracy throwing, and how good he was against the blitz, noticing when the defense was coming and throwing an accurate ball. So if you're a Mizzou fan or SEC fan and quarterback fan in general, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on Cook. What was I right about? What was I wrong about? And if you like this type of quarterback niche kind of content, specifically SEC quarterback content, we're going to be putting out SEC quarterback content on a weekly basis, especially throughout the season. So please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. So with that said, keep following along. We'll see you next time.